All right. So as we're going through the training this morning, please let me know what questions you have. Feel free to interrupt me. You can use the chat box. The goal of today's training is to really make sure that you feel a lot more comfortable and confident using Command and figuring out how you can best leverage all the different applets for your business. So make sure you ask questions because this training is really all about you. All right. I'm also going to go through, I think everyone perfect is muted. So we should be good to go. Just unmute yourself if you want to ask a question. All right, so to get started, we are going to use the Google Chrome browser. Command is built using Google data and technology, so it works best in the Google Chrome browser. Can you use Firefox or Safari? Yeah, you can, but not everything's going to work properly. Things aren't going to load. So I recommend that you always use Google Chrome. So within your Google Chrome browser, we will go to agent.kw.com. Click enter, and that's going to take you to the command login. I recommend you go ahead and bookmark this page for yourself. You can just click on the star here and bookmark it, label it command. I'll add it to my bookmarks bar. Perfect, so it's right there, so I can easily click on it because command really is going to be at the center of your business from everything you do, from compliance review to marketing, database, CRM. So you're going to be in this system a fair amount of time. So once you get to agent.kw.com, you're going to log in using your KW credentials. This is going to be the same login information that you have for mykw.kw.com. And then click on sign in. All right, so now we are logged into Command. So we're going to do a quick overview of the system, just kind of familiarize ourselves with the layout so you kind of know where everything is before we jump into any of the applets. The way I'm going to do this morning is I'm going to kind of start up here in the top left-hand corner, and I'm going to work our way over to the right, and then I'll work our way down through this main content here in the middle, and then we'll start going through some of the applets over here on the left. If I'm going too fast, please interrupt me, let me know, and I can slow down or show anything again. So up in the top left-hand corner, you have this nice little KW logo. If you click on it, it will expand the menu bar of applets on the left-hand side. So if you're ever trying to figure out, oh, I need to go to the consumer applet, you can roll your mouse over those applet names, or you can just click on the KW to expand, and that'll tell you exactly what the different applets are. To the right of that is command. So if you click on the command button, it's going to leave you right here. This is the CRM system. This is going to be your main day-to-day business support platform. To the right of that is connect. And if you click on connect, it'll open up the connect system. And at the heart of connect, it's really meant to be more of a social connectivity platform. Think of it kind of like the KW First Atlanta Mission Control Facebook page. The theory here, or the goal here, is to have Connect replace any of those Facebook pages or groups, so that way all the KW agents can connect here through command. You should automatically be added to the Atlanta Sandy Springs group, which is for the First Atlanta agents, and then also the Southeast. As Connect gets built out, there'll be a lot more groups that you can join. So if there's any particular groups or affiliations within KW that you're a part of, you can connect to those groups there. And you'll be able to have all those groups here on the left-hand side. At the moment, Connect has kind of been put on the back burner as all the systems within Command have been built out. As they announced Command, I guess, February 2019 at Family Reunion. And since then, they've really focused on making sure that all those systems that are business critical are fully operational. And since Connect doesn't necessarily have a direct tie to our business and business functionality, it's kind of been put on the back burner. But this is definitely something that's in the pipeline to be built out. And you'll see a lot more about Connect and us as agents in the First Atlanta office using it to stay up to date and share listings and ask for advice and whatnot. Over on the right-hand side of Connect, you can click on this KW Connect, and it's going to take you to this new Connect website. So if you've heard Brett or Mike in the past talk about all of the KW training that's going on, as well as Bold, all that information is here on the Connect website. And if you scroll down, we have all these great learning opportunities that they are teaching. So you can check this out. I guess this ended last month. I don't know. But here's the training calendar of all the classes that are going on today. So at 12 Central Time, you can run your business through Command. You can click through the calendar of days to see what trainings they have going on through Connect. And if you scroll down, here are some popular resources, and then all of the on-demand training. So you can scroll through here and watch videos of all of the previous classes that they taught through Connect. Some popular videos from Command, featured content. So check out Connect. There's a ton of information here. If you ever have any questions or just curious about something, come to Connect and try typing in, there's a search bar here, and you can look up and try to find a fair amount of information that you would like. So here, right here, the search bar, you can just type in whatever you're looking for there. So now that we've gone through Connect, I'm going to go back into Command. You'll see on my toolbar here, I have Command MC, and that's Command Market Center. So since I'm a part of the office staff, I have access to Command MC. You will not have that on your Command. So I'm going to click back into Command. All right, so moving along the top toolbar, moving to the right, if you are on a team, right here to the left of the marketplace icon, you will have a drop-down menu, and that drop-down menu would have your team name. So if you're on a team, there's different capabilities and functionality as being a member of that team versus a solo agent. I do a separate class on the team functionality, and there was a lot of new information that came out at Mega Camp 2 weeks ago. So I'm still learning and making sure I'm up to date, as there have been a lot of improvements to the team functionality. To the right is the marketplace icon. I'm going to click on this, and it's going to open up a new browser window. And marketplace is where you can go to add on third-party data and technology and capabilities to Command. So Command is built by agents for agents, but knowing that there are a lot of other programs out there that agents like to use, or that can be a complement to what Command has, you can come here to see what those technologies are that you can integrate into your business. So if you ever want to look for anything, look for any apps, you can do that here. You can scroll through, they're all categorized over here on the left-hand side. So email marketing, if you were just, oh, what additional email services could I use here? This is all of them that you can add. Now, most of these do have a cost. So that would be an additional business expense that you would have to pay out of your own pocket, but some of them may be worth it. So you can always just come here and check out any additional add-on technology you want to add to Command. All right, so back in Command, moving to the right. To the right of the marketplace, we have a bell notification, and this is going to be where you will receive notifications for any updates or activity within Command. So you can see here, I have a red dot, and that red dot lets me know when I log in that there is something that I have a new notification that I need to check out. So if I click on it, it'll show me all of my new notifications and lets me know that my buyer compliance event has been approved. And you can scroll through your list of events. Also, if you get a new lead coming into your Command system, you will receive a notification. If you receive a text message or email response back from someone, you will receive a notification. Also, if you're logged into the Kelly app, you will receive a notification on your phone as well. So you always want to check out what notifications you have here to see if any of them need your immediate response. All right. And then to the right of the bell, you'll see your name. I've gone through and I've updated my marketing profile, so I have my picture here. But marketing profile, we'll walk through that on Thursday. But you see, if you see, click on your name, we'll have a drop-down menu. The first is profile, settings, command training, and log out. I want to point that out because settings is really important, and you want to know exactly where you're going to make those updates to your settings. I'm going to come back to this because I want to walk through the next item before we jump into settings. Any questions so far? I know I'm kind of going pretty quickly. There's a lot of information. I want to make sure we get through it all. All right. So before we jump into settings, over here in the top right-hand corner of command, there is a question mark with a circle around it. Not too big. This is going to be really important, so I want you to pay really close attention. When you click on this circle, this help and information pop-up is going to appear. And there's three different functionalities within this help and information section. The first is Keller Williams University. The next is chat with support, and the last is post an idea. And all three of these are places that you can go to look up information and or share ideas and information. So anytime you have a question about something in command, and it's something you think you may be able to figure out on your own, or you're just curious, you can always check out Keller Williams University. If you're having issues and the system isn't working properly, you can chat with support and submit a support ticket. And if you're going through command and you're like, you know what, I really like what we're doing here, but I used to work in a system that had this capability where if I did X, then Z would automatically happen. I think that would be a great addition to command. You can post that idea here, and then the labs team will review those ideas and make changes and updates to command based on the ideas that they think would be a great fit for the program. So for Keller Williams University, labs team has gone through and they put so much time and energy into building out kind of like one-pagers for all the different systems within command and step-by-step instructions on how to use each one of the applets. So if you ever wanted to reference any of those information, you can click on Keller Williams University. It's going to load some of the most common articles here that are in the KW University. But if you wanted to look something up, so let's say we'll exporting contacts. You can just type in your search, and all of these different options will show up. So export contacts and leads. You're like, all right, this matches what I'm looking for. You can click on it, and it's going to load that article right here in command. So you don't ever have to actually leave command to get your step-by-step instructions on what it is you're looking for. Now, if you wanted to, you can click into the KWU article directly. So I think if you click, no, that takes us back here. Oh, sorry. Up here in the top right-hand corner, there's this little icon with a pop-out icon. So if you click on that, that will take you directly into this article in Keller Williams University. And this is where all of that information is housed. So always check out KW University. So much information here. I would, before you reach out to me and let's say it's 10 o'clock at night and you're trying to put together a contract and you're having issues, come here to KW University first. I'd say 9 times out of 10, you'll find an article here that'll be able to help you with your issue. But then always know you can reach out to me. I'm always happy to help. But check out KW University. It's great. The next item is chat with support. So if you are having issues with command, something's not working properly, you've cleared your cache and cookies, you've refreshed your browser, you've logged in, you've logged out, you've waited a while, and it's still not working, you'll want to submit a support ticket. To submit a support ticket, click on Chat with Support, and that's going to have this pop-up window in the bottom right-hand corner show up, and it's going to look just like kind of like an AIM chat box. And it's going to preload some information here from KW University to see if maybe any of those items will be able to help you fix your issue. If not, click on Get in Touch. And then it's going to give us two options here. We can live chat or we can leave a message. If you want to live chat with a lab support team member, click on live chat and that will put you into a queue. It'll let you know what your place is. It does usually take a fair amount of time. There's 150,000 plus agents with KW, so there's a lot of agents and probably a lot of them need some support. So what I prefer is to leave a message. And when I leave a message is how you submit a support ticket. So if you and I are chit-chatting, trying to troubleshoot something, and I'm like, hey, I think you need to submit a support ticket, I mean leave a message. So I'm going to click on leave a message. And it's going to show all these different fields to fill in about the issue that you're having. So it'll pre-populate most of them, but you just come through here, you select your topic, training sites, so that way it can make sure that your question is routed to the correct lab's advisor. So let's just do market center sites. You want to include your market center number, so 156. You want to fill in as much of the information as possible. You would want to fill in your name here, market center name, First Atlanta, person reporting issue optional. How can we help you? You'd want to input your question here. And then here's something that I think is really great is you can attach up to 5 files. So if you're able to take a screenshot of the issue that you're having, or if you're even able to take a Loom video of the issue, I would include that here. So you can attach some screenshots, and that way they can see exactly what it is you're seeing, which will help them better diagnose the issue that you're having. And once you're good and you filled in all this information, if you click send here, that'll submit the support ticket. And what I really like about the support ticket that's different than chatting with support is when you submit that ticket, you will have an email correspondence. So you will receive an email saying your support ticket has been submitted, and then the response from labs will come through to you as an email into your KW email or whatever email you use for command. And that way you can correspond back and forth through email. So to me, it's a little bit easier to keep track of through email. So it's a personal preference, but I think I have a lot going on and I don't want to sit and on chat all day, and having an email correspondence back and forth just works better. So that's going to be the main difference between chat with live support and leave a message. And then the last item up here within the help and information section is post an idea. As I mentioned earlier, if you're going around through command and you see some opportunities for growth, if you want to put it that way, you think, oh, you know what, I have an idea that I think will really help other agents using command and really help their business. You should submit that idea. So much of command, well, all of command was built for agents by agents. So everything that Labs has put together here is based on the feedback and input from agents. You're an agent, share your idea. If you think something is going to help you and other agents, post that idea. So what you can do is you can click on post an idea here, and you can fill in your idea. And if you have any screenshots or mock-ups that you'd want to share to visualize it, include those as well. And then other agents are able to view your idea and vote it up. And the more votes that an idea has, the more likely Labs is going to review that and consider adding that into command. So please share your ideas. No idea is a bad idea. And I think anything that can help improve command and other agents' business is going to be really beneficial for everyone. Any questions so far before we jump into profile and settings? All right, so up here in the top right-hand corner where you see your name, there's a drop-down menu. We are going to click on settings. So settings is as simple as it sounds. It's just basically the settings of the system. There's different types of settings. So there's general settings, command settings, connect. So we're going to walk through all of them. Some of them are easier than others. So first, when you click on settings, and it's going to drop you into the general settings, and this is going to show all of our connected apps. So as I was talking through earlier with the marketplace, Command has the capability of connecting third-party programs and systems into Command that can better streamline our business. Some of those apps being DocuSign, Facebook, Google. I'm going to wait on DocuSign just because that's kind of a beast in and of itself. But as you scroll down your list, and they may be in a little bit different order since I've connected, we'll talk through kind of each one and how they work and what the benefit is. So Facebook post scheduling. So a lot of agents have Facebook business pages. If you have a Facebook business page and only a business page, Command won't work with a personal page. You can connect your business page to Command. And with the post scheduling connection, that would allow you to set organic posts to be scheduled in advance. So if you were planning on going on vacation, but every single Monday you like to share an updated market stat, and every Wednesday you like to share a recipe, and then every Friday you like to share some ideas for weekend plans, you could set those posts to be scheduled so that Monday is that market stat. So you could be at the beach or doing whatever it is you want to do, and that post will automatically be sent out. When you log in and you try to connect your Facebook account, you will log in using your personal login information that is associated with your business page. So don't get confused there. You will log in using your personal email or personal account information. Next is Porch, and this should be automatically connected for you. And this is a program that you're able to use if you need to get estimates for repairs. So if you are working with the buyers and you get your ATAC or your inspection back, and you kind of want to get to an idea of how much those things would cost as you're putting together your ATAC, you can use Porch. And then vice versa, if you're working with a seller, you want to let them know, hey, kind of based on our initial walkthrough, I think these items would cost approximately X dollars. So we should consider that in our pricing strategy. Or if you want to double check any of the costs that a buyer is sharing with you through an amendment to address concerns, you can double check that here through Porch. The next items here are Google Calendar and Gmail. So those are our preferred systems for email and calendar through through KW. And the benefit here of adding the calendar and Gmail is that you'll be able to keep track of every single one of those touches through email in Command. So knowing that we want to maintain 36 touches a year with each person in our database, and knowing that an email back and forth counts as a touch, the system here will log that information. So that way, before you follow up with someone, let's say you're making your quarterly calls, you can check out that person's contact card and say, oh, that's right. 2 months ago, we were emailing back and forth about, I don't know, whatever it was you're emailing back and forth. So then when you pick up the phone to call that person and say, hey, how did that work out? Did you ever go to that restaurant we talked about or whatever? And it's all there. I do want to clarify that by connecting Gmail to Command, it does not give you the ability to email out of Command. That's a separate functionality. The same thing goes with Google Calendar. If you set up coffee dates or lunches or meetings with your contacts, that will sync with that contact in Command so you can keep track of all of your appointments and events. So again, when you're making your quarterly calls, you can say, oh, hey, it's been, I can't believe it's been 2 months since we met for coffee. How have things been going? Blah, blah, blah. So I think it's great to connect those two if you do use Gmail as your email provider and calendar. Scrolling down to social, Twitter post scheduling. So very similar to Facebook. If you do use Twitter, I'm not a big Twitter user, so I haven't connected it. But if you want to automatically set up posts to go live on Twitter, you can do the same thing here. You can log in and connect. And you can set those tweets to go to be scheduled out in advance. Scrolling down to productivity, here we have PieSync. And PieSync is a third-party program that will connect Command to other systems. So if you use Boomtown or LionDesk or any number of other CRM systems or text messaging platforms or contact database management, anything, you can use PieSync to connect Command to those systems. So as you get a new lead in Command or a new lead in that other system, it'll automatically sync the two so you have that same information in both databases. There is a fee for using PieSync. I think it's about $10 a month, depending on the number of devices or applets that you use to sync. So just know that if you've already set up a whole database in another program, you can use PieSync to bring all of that information into Command. The next is Office 360. So very similar to what I was talking about just a few moments ago about Gmail and Google Calendar. If you use Office as your main email and calendar management tool, you can sync that or connect that to Command. So just in the same way as Gmail, you can have all of those emails back and forth with contacts logged in Command. So scrolling down into marketing automation, we have Facebook Ads Manager, Twitter Ads Manager, and Google AdWords. So for Facebook, if you have a business page, you can run Facebook ads through Command. You've probably heard us talk a lot about it on Team Meeting. I do a separate training on it. Facebook ads is a great way to promote a listing, an open house, and get leads. So if you have a business page, you can run ads, but you'd have to set up or log into that business page through the marketing automation section here. So it'd be the same login as your post scheduler that we talked about a few minutes ago, and that would connect here. And you need to make sure that you have permission as an admin to run ads. The same thing below here for Twitter. If you are a big Twitter user, you can set up ads to run on behalf of your business. And then lastly is Google AdWords. So if you want to get into paid search, so SEM, you can do that all through Command. Now, one thing I will preface here is that the Google AdWords capability within Command is pretty limited. I will say personally, I'm not a user of Google AdWords, and I'm still probably a novice in the capability of using SEM. But from what I've read in a lot of reviews is that if you do want to take advantage of SEM, Google AdWords has a ton of tools that help you set up your keywords for targeting, as well as top performing copy. So you may want to take advantage of that directly out of Google AdWords. Scrolling down into email services, the first one is Command Email. And Command Email is going to be automatically set up for you. This is going to be the email service that we use within Command to send out emails. And this isn't going to be kind of the back and forth emails that you send with clients with updates or asking questions or sending emails to lenders. These are going to be emails that will be used as a part of your smart plans or email blasts, much more for marketing purposes. It is free up to 5,000 emails per month. And all you need to do is over here on the right-hand side, click on Manage. And then you'll be able to update your sender name. So what name appears in the inbox when your clients receive this email, and then what your reply email is. That's all you have to do, and then click Save Changes, and everything is set up for Command Email. Below that is MailChimp, and as a KW agent, you do receive a free MailChimp account. With that MailChimp account, you are limited to one audience that has up to 2,000 contacts, and you're able to send up to 5,000 emails per month. MailChimp was originally brought on to be the email provider for Command, but based on the emails that we have set up in Command and having those personalized monthly neighborhood nurtures, doesn't really work well with MailChimp's business model, but we still have it, so we can still use it. I think it's a pretty great option to use if you want to send out some newsletters. And then lastly, down here, we have Twilio. So if you want to send text messages directly through command, you need to set up a Twilio account. Last week, they just updated how to set that up. Text messages will be most commonly used as a part of a smart plan. So if you want to set someone up to receive a text message automatically, you can use that here. Twilio does cost, well, now they've moved to a credit system. So basically, you would pay $20, and that kind of sits into a bucket of money, and that then correlates to a certain number of credits, and then each text message costs a certain number of credits. So as you send and receive text messages, you will have those credits deducted from your bank of money there. Any questions on the connected apps section? All right. So continuing down on the left-hand side through general settings, if you are on a team, you'll have team management settings. Now this is going to be more for the rainmaker or an admin in adding team members to the team or adding an admin to the team. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but if you have questions, let me know and we can walk through this together. The next is command settings. So the first is applications that we just walked through. The next is contacts. So we'll just kind of walk through each one of these items. Within contacts, we have contact archive. So the way command sets, well, let me take a step back. When you create a contact, you can remove that contact from your database. But as a means to prevent you from deleting contacts erroneously, they've kind of set up a 3-step process for you to delete contacts. So the first step is for you to archive that contact, which then comes here into the contact archive, which then you'd have to come here you can select that contact, and you can either restore it or you can delete it permanently. Then you'd click on delete permanently, and then you'd get another message that says you will permanently delete this archived contact, and then you'd have to click OK, and now that contact will be removed permanently from the database. So if you ever have issues saying, and when you're trying to add a new contact, saying that email address is already in use, it is likely because you had archived that contact, but you never went through and deleted that contact with an email address. The next item is database wipe. As you were setting up your database, you may incorrectly upload the wrong information, or it's incomplete and you want to redo everything. You can archive all your contacts at once. So you could click here to archive all contacts, and in the same way you would have to delete contacts. It would archive them, it would then put it in the contact archive, which you would then have to select them, click permanently delete, and then acknowledge that you would permanently delete. But it's just a way that if you make any mistakes when uploading contacts, that you can manage that easily. The next item is contact tags. So contact tags are, or otherwise called custom tags, is a way that you can set up groups within your database. And you can have as many custom tags as you want. And the benefit to having these tags is because it allows you to dissect your database into relevant groups. So whether you want to break it up into buyers versus sellers, I like to set it up, how do I know people, from high school, from college, from previous jobs, neighbors, friends, people I don't know well. Are they a mother, a father? Do they have kids? Do they have a dog, a cat? Where do they go to college? What are their favorite sports teams? What part of town do they live in? What part of town do they want to move to? All sorts of different tags, and you can create new custom tags. As you're setting up your database, add tags. There's 2 different ways that you can add a custom tag. One is right here within the settings. So in the top right-hand corner here, you can click on create a new tag. And then you can just type in whatever you want that tag to be. So I'll just type in command training for today. And then if you want to give it a color, you can. And then you click create. So then that custom tag will appear every time you add or create a new contact, or you go into and edit a contact, you can add that custom tag. You also have the ability to add that custom tag directly in the contact page when you're adding new contacts, and I will walk through that in a separate command training. You can add contacts throughout. You can add them, delete them, do whatever you want with them. Think hard on which custom tags you want to add, because it's really going to be more of a benefit for you than anything else. It's going to make it very simple for you to organize your database, especially when you start setting people up on smart plans, or you want to send out text messages. Tags will be the easiest way to decide who receives what information. Oh, one thing I want to point out here is I would also recommend creating an all contacts tag. The reason is there are going to be times when you want to email every single person in your database, or you want to send out a text message or add every single person to a smart plan. It's much easier to select all contacts than it is to go through and add every single person individually to that smart plan. The next is lead sources. So there are a handful of lead sources that are going to be already set up for you. And this is just going to help you organize those leads as they come in. So you can see here we have Boomtown, Brivity, Buyer. If you want to see more of them, you can click viewing 1 through 10, and I'll just click on 100. And this way, it'll help you organize your leads as they come in. Again, it's similar to custom tags, but custom tags are going to be used for people in your database that you already have a relationship with, whereas leads are going to be people that you don't know and that you're going to be focused on building that relationship with. You can add custom sources up here in the top right-hand corner, create custom source, source name, so whatever that source of a lead is, and then category. You can select that here: prospecting, marketing, events, relationships, and miscellaneous. So that way, as a lead comes in, you can mark it with the proper source, and just again helps you manage that relationship. The next item within command settings is custom fields. So as you are creating contacts, there may be specific pieces of information you want to know about that contact or keep about that contact that command doesn't already have for you. So you can see here are 3 that I've added: wedding anniversary, favorite sports team, and college university. I like to know when their wedding anniversary because it's another easy touch point for me. So I can set up and say, oh, today's your wedding anniversary. Congratulations. Happy 7 years of wedded bliss. I also want to know what their favorite sports teams are because let's say if the Falcons win, I can send out a text message about it, or vice versa, or any sports teams that are playing. It also helps me know if I want to set up some specific marketing, some mailers. I may want to have an specific Auburn football calendar for only my Auburn fans, and then a separate Bama one, and then a separate UGA one and a Tech one. And that would be a really easy way for me to organize that. To add a custom field, you have to do that here within the settings. Unlike custom tags that you can add directly while you're creating a new contact, you have to create the custom fields here. So to do that, you click on Create Custom Field. You want to give it a name, so I'm just going to name it Command Training for today. And then we want to select the custom field type. So we have a text field, text area, drop-down, date, checkbox, number, URL, percentage, and currency. So these are all the different types of information that we can input here. Select the field that's going to be most relevant or most useful for the type of information you're trying to collect. So if you want a date, so like if you want to, similar to how I have a wedding anniversary, you could select date, and that way it'll give you the date option. If you want to do favorite sports teams, you could select text fields, and then you can type in whatever information you want. select whichever one is most relevant. And then here's a box that says make default custom field. If you want to select or you want to gather this piece of information about every single person or nearly every single person in your database, select make default custom field. That way, it'll automatically show up on your contact card. If you don't make it a select or make it a default custom field, you will have to select that custom field for all of the relevant contacts that you want to use to create that information for. So depending on how wide scale you want to use, you can select make custom field or not. And then click create, and you'll have a new custom field. Any questions on the contacts? All right, so now we will walk through opportunity settings. So these are still being built out, so it won't be a ton here, but client update is a new feature. So we have had smart plans that we can set contacts up to receive, email, updates, text messages. Well, we now have the ability to send updates based on where clients are in the opportunity sales funnel. So you can set up these updates here using these detailed instructions on how to set up your client for updates. I still need to learn a little bit more about this because this is a new feature that was just released at MegaCamp. But it's just a great way that you can leverage this system, leverage command to keep your contacts and your clients up to date where you don't have to manually do it. So if you move someone from one phase to another, they can receive an update saying, all right, now that you are officially under contract, here are the 3 things that you need to be doing, blah, 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 blah. And everything can be automated for you. So that way you can better focus your time on what's going to drive your business. Next is design template. This is still being worked out, so I'm not going to spend any time here. The next is opportunity tags. So very similar to custom tags within the contacts, within your opportunities, you're able to tag those as well. The custom tags and the opportunity tags, while similar, are 2 very separate systems and they do not overlap. The main benefit of using an opportunity tag here would be if you want to go back and you want to review kind of, where were your big pieces of business coming from? What parts of town did you really specialize in or work mostly in? Where did this piece of business come from? Is there a specific price point that you operated in? So you can set all those different opportunity tags. So then towards the end of the year, when you want to start business planning, you can pull and see, okay, I really did a ton of business in Decatur this year and not a lot in Smyrna. Maybe I really need to focus on Decatur because I'm becoming an expert there. And then you can also say, okay, I really spent a lot of my time closing homes between $300,000 and $400,000, which is great. But I know I want to take a step up in my price point, and I really want to be right around that $500,000 mark. So then you can set business goals and business strategies for your upcoming year based on your performance for the past year. And using the opportunity tags is going to be an easy way for you to organize all of your opportunities. You can add these opportunity tags when you create an opportunity. And we'll walk through that in more detail when we go through opportunities and setting up your sales funnel. Opportunity archive. So once an opportunity or transaction is closed, you can archive it, or if there was an opportunity that was lost, you can archive it. Similar to contacts, command isn't going to let you delete an archive or delete an opportunity because there may be a day that you need to reference that opportunity. You may need to go back and restore it. So ultimately, command can act as a warehouse of all of your files for you. So once you archive an opportunity, they all live here. And if you ever wanted to restore the opportunity, click restore here. Because there will be times where clients come, a year or 2 later and they're like, hey, do you have that inspection report? our water heater just went out and I wanted to see what the inspector said about it. Or, oh, do you have that settlement statement? I'm getting ready to file my taxes and my accountant said he needs to see that settlement statement. You can click restore, go back to the opportunity, and all those documents will be there for you. All right. The next is import logs. So I'll click on my logs. When you upload a CSV of contacts, which is one way that you can upload or add contacts to your database, Command will keep a log of it here. And the benefit here is that way you can see exactly which contacts were added when. If you ever have received error messages or you have issues or things aren't uploading correctly, you can always come back here. You can download that original file. So you can see, oh, okay, here is, why, these contacts were added incorrectly. You need to update the naming conventions or tagging conventions. You can do all that here. All right. The next, we're moving down to Connect settings. And the only Connect settings that we're going to walk through is marketing profile. I'm not going to talk about the marketing profile this morning because my next class is going to be all about setting up your marketing profile and setting up your brand and your marketing capabilities within Command. But your marketing profile from 10,000 foot view is really going to be where you can input information about yourself that will be pulled through on all of your marketing materials, on your agent website, on your landing pages. And it just helps streamline to make sure that there is continuity between all of your marketing pieces. The last is global settings, which aren't anything there. And then I have Command MC settings, which are for me as a member of the office staff. Any questions on settings before we start jumping into some of the applets? All right. So now that we've walked through settings, I'm going to click on the home icon because I want to go home. And then here is our home page. And you can see there's a ton of information here. And everything on this home page is set up so that way you can see what you need to do for your business or how your business is running at a glance for that day. In the top right-hand corner, we do have the ability to customize our home page. But I'm going to walk through all the information down here. So you can see up here, I have my tasks. So as a part of an opportunity or any smart plan, I'll have specific tasks that I need to do. So whether that is to make a phone call to a specific client or contact or set up an appraisal or email a closing attorney, I can set up all those tasks through opportunities or my smart plans, and it'll show up here as a task. So I know, all right, I need to send a thank you note today to this contact, for the phone conversation, and it pops up here. I can sort this by all tasks. I can set it up by contact tasks. So if I have a contact on a smart plan, or I set up a task specifically for a contact. So let's say I have a conversation with a contact and they're like, oh yeah, like follow up with me in 6 weeks. I can set a task so that way the system command will remind me automatically, oh, I need to follow up with so-and-so on the conversation we had. We also have opportunity tasks. So as your clients move through the sales funnel, you'll have different requirements of what you need to do. And you can set up those opportunity tasks and you can sort between the two here. And that way it'll let you know exactly which opportunity it is the task is in reference to and what you need to do. So you can click on it and that'll take you into the tasks. I'm going to go back. Over to the right, I have my recent leads. So if you are running a Facebook lead generating campaign or you have another system connected like Boomtown or Brevity, and you have leads that are coming into the system, you will receive that notification up here at the bell, but it'll also show up here as a new lead. So that way you can easily see, perfect, I've had a new lead that came in 20 days ago. And when you log into Command, you know exactly what it is you need to do to follow up with that lead, give them a call, a text message, add them to a smart plan. so you can start to nurture that relationship. Scrolling down, we have goals versus actuals. And this is going to just be a quick snapshot of how your business is running to date. Knowing that ultimately to receive a certain GCI goal, I have to have a certain number of leads that turn into a certain number of appointments to contracts and closed units. And this is going to be a quick snapshot of how I am operating to date to ensure I hit my business goal. Now, all these numbers here are based on just some numbers I added for training purposes. But you can see here, I can select, this month to see how my business is running this month versus the full year. To the right, I have product updates. So these are going to be updates on command. So Labs is always making updates and improvements to the system, but it's not always very easy for them to publish them out to the masses, so that right here in this product updates widget is going to be the easiest way for you to learn what's new in the system. Scrolling down, new leads to claim. So if you were a part of a team and there are new leads that come in that that are up for grabs, they would show up here, and then you can claim that lead and it would add it to your lead pool. And you would have those leads here. To the right is design updates. So similar to Command as a whole, we have an entire team that is set up to making new marketing materials that we can all use for free. And so they would just want to show off what they have new in designs, because Labs is always making new culturally relevant content for us to use. So you can see here, no one succeeds alone, we stand together. Check those out because you can always add them to your business page on Facebook or include them in an email, and you have the right to use all that information. Scrolling down, we have our database health comparison, and this is really helpful because at the core of any real estate business is going to be your database. That is going to be the lifeblood of your business. And here it's just going to give you a quick snapshot on what is the health of that business. And how does it compare to other agents in my market center? So you can see here, only 19% of my contacts have phone numbers, but 60% of the contacts for other agents in my market center have phone numbers. So it lets me know I really need to focus on getting some phone numbers. Same thing for email, addresses, and neighborhoods. I can also compare between other agents in my state, all KW agents, and then one comparison I think is really interesting is for agents in production bracket above mine. So I can select this and I want to say, okay, if I'm kind of operating at that $300,000 to $400,000 price point and I'm closing $5 million a year, but I really want to be closer to that $10 million in volume, what are those agents doing for their business? And I can see, all right, phone numbers are a really big piece of their business. I need to get more phone numbers because that lets me know I need to make those phone calls to start really building those relationships so I can go from that $5 million to $10 million in productivity. Same thing with email addresses. But then over here, you can see I have more addresses for my contacts than those agents in production above mine. So maybe I spent a lot of time getting addresses and it really isn't going to be the best driver of my business. To the right of the database health comparison is the playbook. So as I talked through earlier in the beginning of our call this morning, Connect, Labs is always doing, well, I guess KW is always holding new classes and trainings through Connect. And the playbook here is going to show some highlights of the most recent classes and conversations that they've had. So you can quickly reference that if you want to watch any of these old ones. And then scrolling down, I have a notepad. So if you just want to quickly jot down any notes or anything that come to mind, you can just put those here in the notepad. Any notes that you add here are for you only. It's not going to be shared with any clients. It's not going to be shared with anyone in the office. Just a way that you can jot down anything that pops into your head. This is how I've set up my homepage, but you can make it your own. So up here in the top right-hand corner, you can click on Customize Home, and it will show you a list over here on the left-hand side of all the widgets that you have the ability to include. If you don't want to include any of those, you don't have to. If you don't want to include the playbook, you're like, you know what, I'm not going to watch any of those videos. I don't need to include it. You can unselect it so it won't show up over here on the right-hand side. And then what you can do is you can rearrange these items. So for whatever reason, and I don't necessarily know why, we have rectangles and squares. And the rectangles and squares can only stay within their respective columns. So I can move this rectangle up and down, but I can't move it to the right. And same thing with these squares. And then once you get the layout of the widgets in your preferred order, click Apply. And it will now update your home page to exactly how you want it. Any questions so far? All right, so we are right at 10 o'clock. And I still have some more information to go through of task reports and referrals. So I think, do you guys want to stay on for like another 15 minutes, or would you rather go through that information next time?
I'm good with staying on.
Okay, perfect. So I will go through that information pretty quickly. And again, let me know what questions you have. All right. So I'm going to kind of walk through some of the straightforward applets really quickly. The first one being tasks. So I kind of talked about tasks right here on the home screen. So if you want to go to your tasks applet, it's going to be the third icon down. I'm going to click on the KW so I can see tasks. I'll click on here. So this will show you a list of all of your contact tasks. And then up here, you can switch to opportunity tasks. And again, those are going to be the difference of if it is a task that you've assigned specifically to a contact, or if as a part of an opportunity, there are specific activities you need to do. You can show your tasks for today, past due, next 7 days, next 30 days, or custom range. You can look at your completed tasks, your archive tasks, and then up here you can create a new task. So if I need to call to confirm closing, I can, I can set it all day, or I can give it a specific time. So I'm going to give this 1 p.m. for this afternoon. So that way I'll get notification at 1 p.m. and say call Campbell and Brannon to confirm closing next Monday. Is that 10, 10-5, 10-5. All right. And then if you want to associate a contact with this, so let's say it's going to be for a specific client, you can click associate contacts, and then you can search for that contact's name. So I'm just going to add myself here. Click add contact and click associate contacts. And if you want to add a hyperlink, so if there's something that you need to reference here, you can add that here and then click create task. So that will show up in my task list, and it will also show up on my home screen right there. You can also add tasks directly from your contacts. So I'll go into my contacts really quickly. I'll just pull up my contact card. So I can come over here to tasks, or I can come down here to the bottom right-hand corner, and I can add, I guess it doesn't allow me to add that there. Click on tasks, and I can add a task right here in the contact. The same layout, but it will automatically attach this task to this contact versus before you had to associate contacts. Tasks are really set up here to kind of make it simple for you to manage your workload. So that way you know exactly what it is you need to do each day. I would recommend leveraging tasks. I would say more often, you're probably going to use them more from within opportunity tasks. So as you set up your sales funnel, there'll be specific activities that you need to do as you move from appointment to listing to going under contract to inspection. There'll be activities that you need to do at each stage of the process, and the opportunity task will help keep you in line with that. Any questions about tasks? It's pretty straightforward. All right. So the next thing I want to walk through is referrals. So referrals is going to be the 5th icon down. So I'm going to click referrals. Referrals is set up so that way you can connect with other KW agents across the globe. So one of the benefits of being a Keller Williams agent is our worldwide network of agents. So if you have family and friends that live in other parts of the country or in other countries, and they're thinking of buying or selling, you can say, let me find you a great agent in your area. And you can refer that business out to an agent in that area. And that's another income source for you. So you can, receive 20, 25% of that commission because you referred that piece of business. The easiest way for you to find that agent or to start that process is to use the referrals applet in Command. So when you click into the applet, it's going to show just a quick dashboard overview of all of your referral partners. So here's my referral network down here. I can click on View All. And these are agents that I've connected with, either that I've met at family reunion, or I've met at trainings, or some that I've, that have just randomly added me because they're looking to have a referral partner in Atlanta. You can click on My Referrals up here in the top, and that's going to show all the referrals that you've sent out or received. So this will be real easy for you to keep track of those pieces of business. Over here, I'm going to click on My Network because that's going to be very similar to what I just showed you in the dashboard. And it's going to be all of your referral partners. So you can click on any one of them, and I'll kind of give you their marketing profile information, just a little bit about them, so you can learn how they may be a good fit for you, or the referral that you need to give them. I want to show you next the map, because this is probably going to be one of the most helpful tools that you can use as you look to build up your referral network. So let's say you are looking for a referral in Nashville. So you can search Nashville, Tennessee. And now it's going to pull up all of the agents in Nashville, Tennessee that are in production. It'll show 660 agents, sort random. But you can change the sort of this. So if you want, let's say you have an aunt that lives in Nashville and she's thinking about closing, she wants to sell her home. Well, you're going to want to work with the best listing agent in the Nashville area. So you can click on Listing Sold, and it is now going to sort all of those agents by the number of listings sold. So you can say, all right, I may want to reach out to David Hoffaker or Ann Hoke or Lee Gillig and have some conversations with them and say, hey, look, my aunt is thinking about listing. I want to refer her to the top agent. I want to make sure she's taken care of. And based on your production, I think it could be a good fit. Again, you can click on their name. It'll open up their Connect profile, and you'll be able to learn more information about them. Similarly, up here and within production, there's a drop down. You can just pull up market centers. So if there is a specific market center that you want to call, let's say I'm looking at Nashville, but my aunt lives in Hendersonville, I can look up the market center within Hendersonville, learn more, about its size, and then I can maybe look for agents in this market center, and then I could sort again by name, closed units, listings sold, buy sides, and leases. And also helps me find the market center information. So if I wanted to then maybe call that market center and say, hey, who are some of your top agents in the office that I can refer my aunt to? The next map is my network. So if you click on that, it'll show all the agents that you are connected to. So I need to zoom out. So it'll show a view of the entire country and where all of my referral partners are. And then the last item from the dropdown is referral patterns. We talked about this on team meeting a couple weeks ago, but when you click on referral patterns, it's going to show you where people from Atlanta are moving to. So you can see here, it's people that referrals that are being sent out. So you can see people from Atlanta are moving to Atlanta, Denver, Westminster, Colorado, Tampa, Marietta, Charlotte, Savannah, Austin. So what this says to me is, as I'm business planning for 2021 and I want to have referrals as a part of my income, I need to start connecting with agents in Denver, in Westminster, Colorado, in Tampa, maybe Marietta, in Savannah. And I can start to build up those network, knowing that as I'm making my quarterly calls and I'm touching my database, there may be a high likelihood that anyone in my sphere moves to one of these cities. And I say, oh, you know what? It's so great to connect with you. I'm so sorry that you're moving. Let me refer you to the best agent in Tampa that will be able to help you buy your home. I want to make sure that you're taken care of as you're going through this transition. Similarly, if you click on received up here, it'll show all the referral patterns for referrals that were received to Atlanta. So where are clients moving from when they come to Atlanta? Tucson, Scottsdale, Prescott, Arizona. Arizona is a popular state for new Atlanta residents. Anchorage, Atlanta, Woodstock, Stockbridge, Orlando. Again, very similarly, I would want to start to set up relationships with agents in these cities and say, hey, if you have anyone that is coming to Atlanta, I would love to be your referral partner, and you can work out the percentage of the referral fee. And this is going to be a great lead source for you, a great income source for you, and you can start to really establish yourself as that go-to agent for agents across the country. Any questions on the referral patterns here? If you want to set up a new referral, you just click on new referral in the top right-hand corner, and you'd fill in all of the information. So you could select the agent. So if I wanted to search, let me search Rob and see if anything comes up. No, it should show you a list of all the agents that you have included. You can find an agent. So again, it'll show you here all the different agents. Let me come back here. You can select if it's a buyer, seller, tenant, or landlord. The referral fee, so if you are going to charge 40% or 20%, acceptance date, so how long after sending this referral to another agent do you want to give them to review it and accept it? The price of the minimum price and max price of the budget that this client is looking for. You can include a quick note. You can also include the contact from your database. So I can search for my name. I'll just pull myself up here. And I can include the contact information for this contact and let them know that they are pre-qualified. They've already talked to a lender. Their desired location, we can just do, let's do Chicago, Illinois. And they want to close by October 30th. And that's how easy it is to send this referral. So once you have your referral network, you know, all right, so if someone's moving to Chicago, I have my go-to agent in Chicago. Boom, let me just send this referral. We've already predetermined referral fees. Everything's good to go. All right, so now I'm going to talk through reports really quickly for our last applet for this morning. Reports is over here. It's the icon with the bar graph. And reports is really going to show you three different things. How your database health is, how your emails are, but then most importantly, how you are working towards achieving your business goals. So when you click into reports, it's going to show you a dashboard overview of your database health. Very similar to that information that we talked through on the command home screen. So kind of the percentage of contacts within my database that have different pieces of information, the health score, if I want to compare it to other agents in my market center or other agents in my state, you'll be able to see that. So this is based on activity. Lead sources here. I'm going to click on reports. And this is going to show me more or less all of the information for my new contacts, everything that's been added this last month, year to date. So how many new contacts, buyer opportunities, listing opportunities, contact report. So I haven't done a ton here, so nothing's showing up. But it's just going to be an overview of the health of my database as it breaks down into listing and buying opportunities. The next is emails. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to go to goals last because that's going to be the most important. I'm going to click on emails. And this is just going to show you how many emails you've sent out this month using your command email. So if you're using smart plans or email blasts, just so that way you can keep track of the number of emails and see, if they were open, clicked, replied, undelivered, unsubscribed, or marked as spam. So if you're seeing a ton of emails being undelivered or unsubscribed, lets you kind of know that you need to adjust your email marketing. And if you were sending, 5,000 a month, maybe you need to upgrade your email plan. So if you were like, I need to send 10,000 a month, you can click upgrade email plan here. And that'll take you to the marketplace where you can then look at the different costs to increase your command email. So up to 10,000 emails cost $10,000 a month, and you can select those options there. All right. The last thing I want to walk through is goals in reporting. And this is going to be the probably most important piece of information you can include in goals, because this is where you're going to set up your actual business goals for the year. So as we are, I guess, almost in third quarter, which blows my mind. Fourth quarter. You're going to want to start to think of what your goals are for 2021. What is your revenue goals? How many listings and buyers do you want to have? This system here is going to help you set all that up, and it'll help you keep track of it. So I don't know, it's not showing my goals. I had input information here before. So we'll kind of walk through setting our goals really quickly. So I'll click goals settings. And it's going to walk us through a Kelly guide, which I really like the Kelly guides because it really holds your hand step by step through the process. So I'll click get started. And I'm just going to do the 2020 year. And I want to set up what is my total profit goal for the year. So let's say I want to walk away with $125,000 after everything's said and done. I can update my expenses, and I know that it costs me $20,000 to run my business a year, and additional $60,000 for the cost of sales. And if you roll over the information button, it'll give you more information on what expenses only when a transaction takes. So splits the agent, transaction coordinators, market center fees, referral fees, any information like that. Business makeup. So what do you want your split of listing to buyers, buyers, and leases to be? As a newer agent, I'd probably say focus a little bit more on buyers. That's usually where new agents get their business from, but you can, let's do 50-50. And then average commission per unit. So kind of look at your business and kind of see, okay, what's that price point that you work in? Kind of what is those traditional commissions that you're getting? And you can update those here. And you can see as I've input that information, it changes my GCI breakdown and my profit goal here. And I'll click next. And then now it's going to walk through the conversion rate. So as someone moves through the sales funnel as a lead all the way down to a closed client, These conversion rates are automatically auto-populated, but if you have specific numbers for your business that you've calculated, update those so they're more accurate. And these will update over time. But this is just to kind of help the system project out based on these conversion rates, how many leads you need versus contacts, appointments, etc. So I'm just going to leave those as is, and I'll click Save and Continue. And here we can review that information of our estimated GCI breakdown of our profit, cost of sales, and operating expenses, and then that conversion percentages right there. So now that we are done, click What's Next. And let's go back to View My Goals. And I don't know why it's not populating. Show all. Here, let me select myself. This is very weird. I don't know why it's not showing up here. But what it would do is it would say, based on my goal of having $125,000 in profit, I need 30,000 leads, which then will go down to 6,000 contacts to 50 appointments set. And that way I can see very quickly and very easily how I'm tracking towards achieving my business goals for the year. So it may say, oh, all right, I really need to do some lead generating because I don't have enough leads to then fill the number of appointments that I need to have to achieve my goal of $125,000 in profit. So I recommend go through here, play around with the 2020 goals since we're almost done with 2020, just so you can familiarize yourself with the system and then use that as a baseline for projecting and setting your 2021 goals, because this will really help you keep accountable to what it is you're trying to achieve. All right, so that is all of the information for this morning's training. We're 20 minutes over, so I want to say thank you and appreciate your flexibility. What questions do you have? What can I show you again? We just went through a lot of information, so I just want to make sure you guys are good to go.
I think I'm good. Thank you, though.
All right. Anyone else? Any questions? Anything they need to see again?
I'm good too.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, awesome. Well, I will add this to the YouTube channel, so if you ever need to reference it, it's there. And then I will continue with the training on Thursday, walking through setting up your marketing profile, as well as setting up your branded marketing materials and designs.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you soon.